Hey, so
What's up?
we're here in Nikaiju, our first actual controllers and coffee. We're here to talk about gaming news, technology news, just things going on in the world. If you guys watching the video want to chime in with an idea, we'll absolutely discuss it. We like to talk. We like to talk shit. So you're going to hear some outrageous point of views from either myself or Bane. Um, Before we get started, though, uh, I'm Bane. I'm not speaking for you, but I'm pretty sure you'll agree. Nikaiju
Yeah,
wants to send our hearts and thoughts and prayers out to the victims in the Texas elementary school shooting. I don't know. I don't know what could go through an 18-year-old's mind to make him want to do something like that. But it's an absolute tragedy that happened, and everybody in the state of Texas and the families that lost somebody, you've got our support.
yeah. It's obviously a horrible thing all the way around, and I've been thinking about it nonstop since it happened, and trying to make sense of it, like I'm sure everyone else is, and it's heartbreaking, and I can't tell you how many times I've hugged my daughter in the last few days because we've had our scares here too,
Yeah.
um, in her school, and even more than scares. Um, a couple of young ladies here in town were gunned down not too long ago, and I'm just, man, I'm tired of the gun violence. I mean, that's what I got to say. It's just everyone out there that thinks that guns will solve your problems, they're not going to. This is not going to happen, and I hope you find a peace in your heart somewhere from some place.
Well, I just the biggest question on my mind, I feel the same sentiment that you do, and I would love to hug my kids, but my kids are all back in the states. My kids are also all over 20 years old, so I don't have the same fears that you do. My kids were primarily raised in Japan, so we didn't have that fear of gun violence like those of you that live in the states do. I understand. I understand the necessity and for protection, even
Yeah,
for those avid hunters out there. I absolutely understand having a gun, but to have it to where a child, 18 years old, whose mind is still developing, he's still learning and trying to figure out who he is, and have let him have access to that. I got to ask, where were the parents in all this? How did the parents? I'm not. By no means am I a perfect father. By no means was I a perfect father when my kids were coming up. But I like to think that I was in tune with what my children were doing. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right.
If
I
Go ahead.
no, I don't want to blame just. No, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but like I don't want to just blame parenting. I don't want to say it's just where were the parents. It's like
I'm not trying to
because
blame the parents. I'm not trying to be,
no,
you know,
definitely not saying
but
that. Definitely not saying that. But we need to remember there's a lot of people in a young person's life.
yes.
That's something that I have to remind myself every day with my high school daughter was that um, she has her own life, and there's a lot of people in it more than I realize. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And she goes to school and spends a lot of time without me, and it's hard to. I'm sure you understand. You have a daughter. It just that realization that you can't protect them 24/7.
Yep.
It's hard. It's just terrible.
It really is.
And yeah, and like I said, we've had our scares here too, and we actually had a it wasn't a non-drill. It was a real world situation
Mm.
where very similar to what happened in Texas, where someone posted on Facebook that they were going to do it, and the police responded. and I actually had to drive to the school, hoping to God that I could pick her up before anything happened, and just like all the other parents here in town. And in our case, we got very lucky where it was just a scare.
Right.
And but what I'm trying to say is, I know that now I personally know the terror that you feel when you think your child is in one of those schools. And
Yeah.
my heart really, really goes out to the families of those victims because I can't imagine if it had gone the other way. And I don't want to imagine it, but they're living it.
Right.
And I've my heart's broken, man. My heart's broken.
Well.
And yeah, just and like you said, I don't know what pushed that young man to do that. I don't know what gave him those ideas,
Yep.
but whatever it is, I hope in this case we can find it and fix it.
Fix it.
Start thinking about the mental health of our teenagers these days because seeing the pressures that my daughter goes through, it's what we went through in our time is a fraction of what she has on her plate.
100%. 100%.
And
100% agree.
I think we definitely need to, as a community, need to start taking a look at teenage mental health and the pressures that we're putting on these children before they, like you said, before they even realize who they are.
Yep.
So,
All right.
um,
So we just want to reiterate, victims of the Texas elementary school shooting. You're in our thoughts. You're in our prayers. Truthfully, the entire country is in our thoughts and our prayers. And like Bain said, hopefully we can find a way to identify the troubled teens that are out there a little bit earlier.
yeah.
Um, but Controllers and
And if
Coffee is
you're,
about technology
yeah,
and video games. So before we start talking about video game news, I gotta ask Bane,
hmm,
did you watch episode 1 of Obi-Wan?
oh, it is out.
I
No, I have
watched it
not.
this morning.
I should have to prepare for the show, but yeah, no,
I watched
no,
this
that's
morning.
no,
No
that's
spoilers.
no, 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 no.
No spoilers.
Uh,
Um,
yeah. Just I wanted to say one more thing
oh,
on the first
I'm,
topic.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
It's all right. I just want to say one more thing. It's a plea. If any of you young people, if there's anybody out, not let's say young people, if there's anyone out there that's watching this stream that is having those thoughts or feel like you're depressed, I'm asking you, begging you, please find help, get help, find someone that you trust, talk to them, tell them, learn how to love, and find your peace. And then this is coming from someone that had to do it in the past also. So please, I'm asking, I'm begging you, find your love, find your peace. Okay? So anyway, that's the last thing. So let's
100%
move
agree.
on.
100% agree.
So
All right. So I won't. I won't tell you any spoilers or anything about Obi-Wan.
all I want to know, is it good? Is it worth watching? Am I gonna go into a nerd rage?
I almost didn't do the stream earlier just because I wanted to watch episode 2.
Okay.
So
Does that mean good?
yes, that means good. What else is going to take me away from video games and streaming?
Well, yeah, good point. So, but yeah, I've been waiting for it for a long time, and I just the personal life's been a little busy recently, and it's been a struggle to get on the stream. Uh, but yeah, Obi-Wan, man, I'm gonna watch that hopefully tonight then.
Yeah,
But
you should definitely watch it after the stream. As soon as it's done, text me and let me know what you think.
okay,
Let me know
I
what you
will
think.
ask questions. Okay, let me ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
Is Hayden or Vader in the first one? Hello.
No. No.
I
That
mean,
well,
I
that
don't.
depends. That depends on what you mean. That depends on what you mean by in the first one.
Well,
Because
I mean, do
the
they make an
first
appearance
the
of some
first
sort?
10 minutes of the episode, you can essentially watch episodes one, two, and three.
Okay.
You know, they literally
Yeah.
took the best parts of episodes one, two, and three and put them at the first
Recap.
10 minutes of this episode.
So they recapped.
Yeah,
All right, that's fine. I can do. Well, yeah, we can do that.
yeah, that's about the extent of Hayden or Vader.
Okay. So, because you can see, I'm drinking out of my adult sippy cup. Oh, and in case anyone, so we do call this segment, we call this show "Controllers and Coffee." Because we're just sitting here talking over a cup of quote unquote coffee, about video game stuff and video and technology related to video games. However, if for anyone that's familiar with our programming, you know that we live in different time zones, and so Braz is the only one that's doing the coffee. I'm doing controllers and cocktails. So
Yes, because it's what? Yeah, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. So give me one more hour, and I might be able to join you in the cocktails. At least make it
yeah.
look like I don't have a problem. But
You
it's still AM
want to fill
time,
in a
so
fast questionnaire?
we'll keep it coffee right now. Plus, my wife's got a huge honey-do list after we're done, so I
Yeah.
can't get too enjoyable.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your
You
first piece
could.
of news that you got?
Me? What about you?
Okay, fine. I'll do it then.
Actually, I want to
See?
before we get into any happier stuff, I want to. I know we kind of started out on a somber note, and unfortunately, we got to continue that. And I wanted to say rest in peace to Mr. Ray Liotta, who passed away today.
What?
For those of you that
What?
aren't familiar with Ray Liotta, he's a very famous actor, who had some very iconic roles.
Holy crap! I didn't know he died.
The most of which was, at least in our generation, everyone remembers him in Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Um, but related to video games, you'll remember he was a voice. He was a major voice in
Grand Theft
um,
Auto.
Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yep.
So, um, my heart goes out to Mr. Leota's family, and I wanted to say thank you for the years of wonderful work that he put out, and how he freaking terrified me in that. Oh God, what was the title of that movie? I don't think it was Cape Fear. I'll find it later. But there was a movie where he played a psycho stalker type, and just,
Oh, I think I know what
you
you're talking
remember which
about.
one I'm talking about?
I think yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, and that was that. A lot of people say his best role was Goodfellas, but man, he scared the shit out of me in that movie.
Well, I have to agree with a lot of people. He's the one that made Goodfellas good to me. Um,
Yeah,
um, maybe second to Joe Pesci,
yeah.
but
Well, you can't.
and
It's hard. It's
I had to
hard
say
to.
that in case Joe Pesci is watching. I don't need him stabbing me in the neck with a pin or something.
uh, yeah, man. That was one hell of a good movie.
Yep,
I mean,
it
that's one of
was.
the ones that you just remember for your lifetime. So yeah,
That's sad. I did not know that. Did they say what he died of? Don't say COVID.
um, I stopped reading.
I started
I didn't.
crying. I couldn't read anymore.
I didn't want to. It just he's one of those guys. It was just one of those actors that I just thought was going to be around forever and keep making movies, and he just, and I don't know. Uh, it's still kind of a shock.
Yeah.
I was like, when I heard he'd passed, I mean, that was really all that mattered.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same with
Um,
Robin Williams when he died.
yeah,
Robin Williams is probably one of the only actors or actresses that has ever passed that I really felt.
the it-
You know what I mean? I just
yeah,
really felt.
I have to 100% agree with that. I felt like the world really lost a big part of its soul.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You
He
know,
brought so many laughs for so long.
um,
I can't.
because you know, famous people die every day. You know, I mean, it's human nature. But
Yeah.
never, you know, it's like, oh, that sucks, and then move on. You know what I mean? Um,
Sometimes, yeah.
but with Robin Williams, it was it actually made me feel something,
Yeah.
feel something. Like,
So,
go ahead.
according to the news, for those who are interested, Mr. Leota passed in his sleep while he was in the Dominican Republic filming a new movie called Dangerous Waters.
Mm,
Um, so you know, I don't know what else to say, but you know, rest in peace and thank you for the memories,
yep.
thank you for the entertainment. I mean, because I mean, it's just a lot with Ray Liotta and Robin Williams and all those others, all those other celebrities. Sometimes those celebrities they put on roles or they they create art that just touches you, touches your soul,
Yep.
and you take those emotions from that work and carry them with you through your life. And and I'm not sure if if those celebrities sometimes don't fully understand how they touch people. I think one of the biggest examples for me would be Mr. Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
He was for us, dude. He was a god.
He was
He
Luke
was Luke
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
He's Luke Skywalker. I mean,
Luke freaking Skywalker.
yep.
And then later on, when he started doing the Joker, he just blew my mind. I was like, "That's who?" And then and I actually love him more for his Joker role than Luke Skywalker, and that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. So anyway, but yeah, and so Mark Hamill for me, he's one of those guys that for a lot of us, for a lot of people, he just touched our lives. And when he came back for the Mandalorian, whoo,
And screw Disney for screwing him over in episodes 7 through 9.
yeah, I mean, well, yeah, I didn't even want to mention those movies. We don't.
You got to. You're talking about Luke Skywalker.
No,
Gotta
don't get
mention
me
him.
started. Don't get me started on the Last Jedi. Don't get me
Gotta
started.
admit, horrible,
No,
horrible.
yeah. So, but when he came back for the Mandalorian, and I just, even if it was CGI, I don't care. I was happy.
Yep. So was I.
Absolutely
So was
ecstatic.
I. That's how you make a TV show.
Yeah.
Unlike what they did with Boba Fett. But another news
Yeah.
topic. Um,
I'm sorry. We can go on about this forever, but yeah, yeah. I just because like I said, because I had a bit of a troubled childhood, so a lot of those celebrities were um I don't know, family, I guess you can say, to me.
mm,
And so sometimes it really hurts, like you said with Robin Williams.
yeah.
So anyway, so next news topic.
You got one?
That was mine.
That was- I didn't know we were taking turns. All
You're
right.
up.
So looking at PC Gamer, which is a big company and site that I use to keep up to date with what's going on. It says EA. Just gonna throw that out there, EA. So bear with us. It's EA.
No,
EA
okay. I'm
officially
holding back. I'm holding
EA
back.
officially unveils sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. So you guys watching, you just heard Bane talk about how huge a Star Wars fan he is, and I can absolutely contest he is a huge Star Wars fan. You want to talk about an epic fail? The one good Star Wars game that has been out recently,
Mm,
Bane hasn't played it yet.
nope.
Everybody boo Bane. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do
No.
that.
And that's
Don't
a
do that.
good reason for that. There's a very good reason for that.
Right, the first two letters of the that I started the whole word out, right?
Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2,
which are
Battlefront fucking anything. I'm tired.
which are what?
I'm tired of bad
EA.
Star Wars games.
EA.
I'm tired of it. And I didn't, I was like, fuck this. I'm not buying Fallen Order. I'm not buying any more EA shit because I'm tired of the money grabs,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah.
But then when I finally give up, they're like, hey, here's a good one,
Right.
you
Here's a good
know? So,
one.
and you've been telling me it's good. And I'm like, but I'm that stubborn where I'm just like, no. And, well, I will tell you that recently I've been watching the sales because, like, if I'm gonna spend money on this, it's only gonna be like $5, $10. So
Shit better be free.
yeah, I'm waiting for him to give it to me from the PS or something,
Yeah, the
from PS Plus
PS Plus. Yeah.
or free on Epic Games or something. But it's EA, so it's probably never gonna be free. But I might get it cheap one day. But
Yeah. Um.
so being that you recommended it and you said it's good, I will play through it, and
It
I
is.
hope it's
It
good.
is actually. It is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But again, like with several other things, when it comes to the current games that are being produced nowadays and TV shows and movies that are even coming out, I am
Yeah.
very, very apprehensive before throwing my money at it or getting my excitement going for it. Because just
Yeah.
because Fallen Order 1 was an excellent game, Fallen Order 2, it is EA, could be an absolute, dumpster fire. So
Yeah, Dragon Age 2, anybody? Motherfucker. How do you follow up a fucking amazing classic like Dragon Age with that
dumpster
dumbed
fire.
down trash
Dumpster
dumpster fire?
fire.
You know
Yeah.
what? Uh, in I am not I really am not somebody that likes to trash games and like I just did because I know there are developers out there working hard
Mm.
to feed their families making these games.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I think, and I've never been in a developer situation. I'm not a developer. I'm just a fan.
Right.
But when they, I know there's people working hard and to feed their families making these games because they love it to their core. But most of the time, I find out afterwards. I mean, when we read about this stuff, that it was a management issue,
Yeah. Yes.
and so you know, put somebody in charge that used to be a developer instead of a fucking executive.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Can
Yeah.
we get back to the
I'll do it.
time when people made games for fun
I'll do it. See, and that's what
instead
I
of
that's what I
microtransactions?
always that's what I always wondered, because I understand, we'll take let's just take, 1996. Video games in 1996 compared to video games now. I understand the technology is different, and I understand you the technology cost more to create a game, so you've
Right.
got to the company's got to make their money to pay for this technology. But back in 95, 96, 97, 98, the late 90s, they put out amazing video games. They put out great video games without the microtransactions, without the loot boxes, you know?
Well, it's I'm not gonna wear the rose-colored glasses, but yeah, there were some good ones. They weren't. I mean, they weren't all classics, but yeah, you're right.
So
Huh?
you don't think I'm don't get me wrong, there were bad video games put out also. But I'm just talking about they still made money.
I rue the
People will
day.
pay
I
for the games without so if you give me everything,
yeah.
you can charge me $40 for a video game, a
Uh,
half-ass video game that I got to pay 10, 20, $30 over the next 3 or 4 months, or you can just give me everything at one time and charge me $100. I would probably
Well,
still
see,
pay for the $100.
the problem the problem is that the industry turned and they tried something and it worked, so they're going to keep doing it.
But
I
again,
mean,
who was it? Who was it? Was it the UK, Finland, maybe? Who basically made like loot boxes and microtransactions like almost illegal?
right? They called it gambling for children,
Right, because that's
and
what it
it's
is.
not, and it is, it absolutely is, and but it's such a behemoth, industry now. There, once you get to a certain amount of money that you can lobby, I don't think it's going to go away.
Well,
I was waiting for it to go away when they made the decision, but all those loot boxes are still going strong.
that's the biggest um, complaint that I have about video games. Period. Is microtransactions or loot boxes. You know, um,
Well,
we're
I hate to
playing
say it, but it's true.
for those that haven't been watching or keeping up. We're
Yeah,
currently playing V Rising. Um,
yeah.
it's a
The
Stunlock Studios published and developed game, and
right,
we got it on Steam. It's early access, right? It's
and
early
that game,
access. Go ahead.
so far, that game I feel like was made with the love that we are talking about.
Right, but
It,
I am I am highly concerned because again the game is in early access and they've already
right.
got two DLCs out.
Well, I mean,
So
DLCs are. You know what? No, I mean that's last generation's microtransaction is the DLC. So I mean they're gonna try to make some extra money somewhere.
and I don't have a problem. I don't have that's not what I'm saying. I have no
Yeah,
problems with the DLCs. Okay, but what
yeah.
worries me is the game is in early access, so that means the game is not finished yet. The game is not live. The game is not for
Fully
sale.
released.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
and they're already putting
and
out
they're already
the.
putting out DLCs.
Well, to be fair, one of the DLCs, and I'm playing devil advocate here, is one of the DLCs is a founders pack, and that's
Standard
a
practice for any new game. Got it?
yeah, and
Yeah.
then the other one, eh, I can't.
The
Yeah, it's a ten
Dracula,
dollar
what is it? Dracula's
Dracula's
Essence or something like
Exhaustion.
that.
Yeah.
But it's a great game, but I am concerned that the game's just it's going to get released, officially released and not
Mm,
be finished.
yeah.
Not be finished. They're going to just finish the game through DLCs.
Well,
Let's take the game live, and we will, especially because they just went over what a million players in the first
let me
week.
ask you this. Yeah, let me ask you this though. You have played that game, and you said the max level is 81.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Last I talked to you, you were like 47,
48 now, yeah.
48. Okay, so what do you feel is missing from that early access that would make it complete so that they could sell DLC? Because I'm just asking you. I'm asking,
For an
what would
early
make it
for
for you?
for an early access game, this game is absolutely perfect.
Right, and that's what I
What
was gonna
what
say.
I'm
Was
concerned with is once the game goes live, all of
yeah.
a sudden we're going to get six, seven, eight, nine more DLCs over the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 7 weeks because the game was never finished, and they're just
You're
now going to
saying
finish the
because
game through DLCs.
you're saying because you're saying that they left some stuff out intentionally. They cut some off.
That's what it
What
feels
you
like to me.
okay?
That's what it
And
feels like
that's
to
what
me.
I was asking. What do you think they cut out? What do you think they're holding back?
I can't answer that question only because I haven't made it to endgame yet.
Yeah.
I haven't made
Well,
it.
I
I haven't
mean,
made it to
it,
endgame yet, so I don't know.
yeah. But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, for the $20 in the original price, pretty damn good.
Hydra
That's
Tatsu,
just
how you doing?
hello. Yeah. I said it in the stream. I did, and so I'm on the other side of the fence. I
Mhm.
said it in the stream. I am highly impressed with the amount of content that they have in the early access, and not only the amount of content, but how polished it is.
Yes,
I haven't rubber banded
I have seen
once.
no bugs. I haven't seen any crashes. Well, I did crash the other day, but that was my internet,
Yeah.
not the
So
game.
I have no blue screens of death, no
Yep,
crash to desktop.
knock on wood.
Not I haven't rubber banded once, and and this was on a server. I mean, this was on a small server, or not small. Sorry, the other way around. Is a fairly large server with several people
Hmm.
playing. So it's like for early access, it's freaking incredible,
I agree, absolutely,
and the
wholeheartedly, without
amount
a
of
doubt.
things to do. It's like how long we played all week, and like we're only halfway
Yeah.
through our first game. And this is like a MOBA type, MOBA Diablo style thing. That's the beautiful thing about that game. It's a it's the most eclectic mix of every game style out there,
The base
and
building, that's what I love.
they put it together so well.
Yeah.
And but anyway, um, but so we're just like halfway through our first game after playing for a week. So um, I don't know. I feel it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and
It-
it. I would really like to talk to a Stunlock um, developer if we ever get the chance to do some interviews on the show. I would love to talk to a Stunlock developer and hear about some of their creative processes because
just tell them
some of the
thanks.
ideas.
Just say thank you.
Yeah, I say, well, first of all, I'll say thank you, but no, and I'd like to hear about the creative process and how they come up with some of these ideas because like they took such a simple idea as vampire and they went through all of that lore and they pulled out some of these cool things. Like you told me about earlier, I think yesterday afternoon, you told me about how you can build prison cells
Yeah, that's my next
to
one.
keep your victims for feeding later. Some of the
That's my
stuff like
next. Yep,
that.
that's my next boss.
So like it's just, and
Yep.
then it's not. It sounds bad when I say it that way, but when you're role playing a vampire, I mean that's some pretty cool shit. You know,
uh,
that's I don't know,
Again,
just my opinion.
I still think they give you a travel form and it's a wolf, which okay, I can see it. There has to be a bat travel form that lets you fly.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming.
But I have
It's
not
got to be coming.
seen anybody using it.
Like you said, that's
All the characters or all the other players running around, nobody's using it. Everybody's using their wolf form, or riding a horse.
well for our server. I think you're the highest person on our server, like the second highest. So
I don't know. I
that
wish there was a
guy,
way you could check.
but well, there might be. I'm sure. But yeah, fantastic. I'm sure the bat form's coming.
It's gotta be,
Got to be coming.
gotta be.
Um,
But yeah, if you guys
I
haven't
haven't picked
checked
any
out V
DLCs.
Rising,
Poke, poke. This might be a deal. Yeah,
I see what you did there. Um,
yeah,
for those of you that haven't checked out V Rising, like we said, it's $20 early access on Steam. D- Definitely check it out. It's definitely worth the $20. Bane went
yeah.
and he got the DLCs. I read through them and I was going to get them, um,
I
but
bought it. I bought it completely on your recommendation.
the DLCs.
Uh, well, no, the DLC, not the DLCs, the original game, the
Oh,
original purchase was purely on your recommendation because you raved about it so much, and I was like, this there must be something to this. And after like the first 3 hours of gameplay, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Promise Pack and support these guys
here's
because I
money.
love it.
Here's my money. Here's my money. Take my
Yeah,
money.
shut up
Take
and
my
take
money.
my money.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, and it's not very often. I'm not kidding. It's not very often. We are some old grumpy, picky bastards about games.
Yep.
I mean, you
Especially
heard
that
me
guy.
talking about Battlefront and stuff before. So I'm telling you, when I say this many good things about a game, there's something to it.
Yes.
There is something to it.
Yep.
Uh, and I'm, and we, we're not big enough yet to get bought. So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
yeah,
Maybe one day I can tell a developer company no.
yeah.
But right now it's like no. Yeah. Sure. Absolutely. We'll say, yes. No, I'm just kidding. um, but yeah, definitely check out V Rising. It's an amazing game. It's an amazing game.
Yeah,
If I could purchase it for, all of our followers that we have on Twitch, I absolutely would. I want
right.
everybody to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, in another headline about B Rising, just to tack on there is it sold. Um, they already sold 1 million copies.
Yeah. What, one week? First week
Yeah.
had a
So I
million copies.
don't. So if we didn't convince you, the sales numbers should, because you know it's not easy for an indie game that's self-published on Steam to sell 1 million copies.
Yeah.
So there's
That says
something
something.
to it.
That's what is that? A
Yeah.
testament. That's a testament to the game.
So
Yeah, first week out, a million copies, still early access. So that should push it even more. Because like Baldur's Gate 3, I love
yeah,
Baldur's Gate 3. I enjoyed playing it for the 30 hours that I played Chapter 1 because that's all they gave us, and it's literally been in early access for 2 years now.
yeah, right.
2 years
And
in early access. That is
uh,
insane.
well, I'm sure they have their reasons. I don't want I don't want to bash them too hard because what we did play for Baldur's Gate 2 was pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I am ready. I am ready to continue to throw money at this company. What is it, Larian?
Yeah.
Larian
Okay.
for Baldur's Gate 3. I am ready to continue throwing money at them, but give me
Absolutely.
something to throw money at.
Right. Yeah.
Give me something to
That's
throw money at.
that's the only thing I ever ask of any developer ever.
Yeah,
Is like I'll open the wallet, man. I'll open the wallet if you, but don't try to bullshit me.
right,
You know what
exactly.
I mean?
And that's what So we were talking earlier and harping on microtransactions. So I
Yeah.
I don't like microtransactions. I don't like loot boxes. I don't. I think,
Right.
like we said, it's a lottery. But caveat: I have no problem paying for microtransactions if the game is worth it.
Right.
If the game is half-assed and it's broken and it's missing shit and it's just a half-assed game, don't
Yeah.
ask me to spend money on microtransactions or loot boxes.
Bro, do you remember? Um, do you remember when we met? So when we got into we both played Inquisition.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I love the
Dragon Age
Inquisition.
Inquisition. Yeah, the solo game was off the chain,
Yes.
fantastic. So,
Still play it to this day.
but we got into the multiplayer. Do you remember that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, that it was literally nothing but broken, run down a hall, kill a few mobs, rinse, repeat.
And then
Like
spend $10 for.
it was the
Yep.
worst, most tacked on multiplayer mode I've ever seen. It never got any. Well, I won't say never, but if it got any patches, they were very small and insignificant.
I am
So,
I am pretty
huh?
positive they cannexed the multiplayer for Inquisition.
Probably.
It's no
But you
longer
know
it's
what
no
they did
longer a
have?
thing.
But you know what they did have?
Yeah, microtransactions.
Microtransactions and loot boxes.
And yep, absolutely, absolutely. And that game, perfect example of what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Don't give me a half-assed piece of shit section of a game. And because, like you were saying, for the solo game, I probably would have paid a couple of bucks for some loot boxes or microtransactions because I enjoyed the solo game that much.
Right.
But the microtransactions and the loot boxes were only for the multiplayer, and that was the absolute worst concept and worst developed system that I have seen. And they wanted me to pay money for it.
Yeah. They're like,
Here,
yeah,
I made
congratulations, you
I
made
made a
millions. I'm gonna
shit
buy some
sandwich. All right, I made a shit sandwich. I'm going to charge you $10 to eat this piece of shit. Literally. No.
Well, I mean, I think we get the point. Well, I mean, I think the viewers get the point. Like we're what the words that I want to say to the developers are, or at least not. No, let me correct that. Not developers. I want to say to the publishers. Don't try to bullshit us. Don't try to bullshit the gamers, dude.
Yep.
They they know.
They
Most of
know.
them do. I
Hmm.
mean, I the Madden guys are the outliers. Like I don't want to piss all you Madden dudes off, but somebody is paying for those microtransactions in Madden because they keep putting them in Madden every year, and they
Yep.
keep making the microtransactions worse. And it's not just Madden. It's my favorite sports game too, MLB. Oh Lord have mercy, the microtransactions in MLB now, dude. I don't even want to buy it anymore.
Yep.
So, but anyway, um, yeah, I can't speak to the sports guys, but a lot of the other gamers they know bullshit when they see it.
Yep. Yep. And they
Man,
hold, the RPGers, the MMOers, the ARPGers, they hold their publishers, developers to that standard. You put out an ARPG and it's full of microtransactions and it's broke and they're not going to spend money on it. They're not. But for some reason, the sports genre of gamers, they cannot get away from not spending that money on microtransactions and making it a positive move for the companies.
do you think it has anything to do? Is it tied to our childhood as baseball collectors or baseball card, football card collectors? Because I noticed that some of those microtransactions have a lot to do with cards.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I think they tapped into that
Very.
card
Yeah.
collecting.
I can see that.
Anyway, just a thought.
Yeah, I can
But
definitely I can definitely see that. But still, I think if 30 years ago when we were buying and collecting baseball and football cards, if we opened up a pack and it didn't have my piece of gum in it like it was supposed to be, I,
these are the gum.
I know you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It didn't have my piece of gum. I would not buy that company's cards anymore. Is there supposed to be a piece of gum?
Over
I
some
get ten,
wax
I get
gum.
10 cards. I get ten
I don't
cards
think
and
upper.
a piece of gum. If it didn't have my gum, I'm not buying those cards anymore. Going to another company.
Okay, well, I don't think Upper Deck came with gum, but they
No,
were
it
the
didn't.
most
No,
they were the most valuable cards there were. So what's up?
I can't remember. I can't even remember. It was tops.
Yeah, Tops
Tops.
came with a gum.
Yeah, back when I was
That
uh,
nasty
a
wax.
long time ago. But yeah, it had a piece of that hard ass gum that you couldn't even chew it because it just snapped.
You have no idea how many years that shit was sitting on on the shelf. You're like, oh, I got gum, and
But didn't
you
care at that
chew.
point. Didn't care at that point.
Sometimes it was so old it wasn't even gum anymore. It just cracked
Right.
on a piece of it.
Exactly. It just broke. Just snapped. You couldn't even chew it.
Yeah.
But
So yeah.
that's
So
that's
going
it's,
back to the
it's the
original
same
point.
thing. It's the same
I
thing.
digress.
You
So
know,
yeah. But just the
the
microtransaction. I don't think they're going away. There's nothing we can do about them. But if you want us to spend money on microtransactions, don't try to bullshit us.
right,
Don't.
exactly. Because most of us have no problem doing it. Most of us will have
Right.
no problem doing it. We'll throw the money at the microtransactions. We'll buy the loot boxes if it is worth our time. If
Right.
the game is that enjoyable, if the game is something to rave about.
Yeah.
If it's a piece of shit, then I'm not spending any more money on it. I'm already pissed off. I spent the $60 to buy the original game as it is.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean we're just grumpy old gamers, I guess.
Yeah, that's
I
us.
mean that's all there is.
That's us. All right, what you got next? What's the next?
No, I guess
Go ahead.
I don't know. Do we have that? Are we entitled? I mean, there's that whole conversation there. I mean, with the whole entitlement thing. Do you feel you're entitled to a good game when you spend $60?
Well, when I spend 10,000 bucks on a car, I feel like I'm entitled to a car that works.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
When I spend
So
$100,000 on a house, I'm entitled to having a roof on the house, right?
Well,
Oh,
well, I
if
mean,
I
they
spend
might tell
60
you that.
bucks on a video game, I'm entitled to have a video game.
Well, they might sell you a house and where the roof is extra.
No, no, I'm
You
not
got
buying
the
a
roof
house.
DLC coming out next month.
Here, we're gonna charge you 100,000 bucks for this house frame. Next
Yeah.
month we'll charge you an extra 50 grand for the walls, and then another 20 grand then a month after that for the roof. No, dude. No, that's not how. No.
That's why I can't figure out why it works in video games and it doesn't work for anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, where else does that sales model work? We're gonna sell you half of the shit now at full price,
Yep.
and then we're gonna charge you, 3 times as much a couple months from now. Anyway,
Yeah.
we beat the horse dead enough. I mean, it's we're
We hate
let's move on.
microtransactions.
Yeah, let's move on to hardware.
Okay, hardware.
Um,
This is
yeah,
so just to let everybody know. Disclaimer:
yeah.
I am a. I don't want to say a computer idiot because I'm getting better. I've been working with Bain for like 30 years now, so I'm getting better at computers. But he's the computer genius. This guy
You
right here.
are definitely getting better. You are definitely getting better.
I
I
haven't
mean,
thrown a laptop. I haven't thrown a computer in years.
and not only that, but you are now officially a computer PC gamer.
No,
Officially.
no.
Yeah, well, yes, you may still prefer consoles,
PlayStation 4
but
is right here.
you
PlayStation
have
5 is right
a
over there.
right. You still prefer consoles, but damn it, if you're not playing PC games now on your own PC,
Yes.
like you're
Yes, I am.
and you're a gaming PC, so good on you. Good on you.
It took what? How many years?
Right?
I
And you haven't thrown it yet.
haven't
I
thrown it yet.
mean,
Nope, she's
yeah,
doing good.
that's the part where I'm most proud. Ladies and gentlemen, this I'm not kidding when I tell you he has a drawer full of broken laptops that were thrown.
I do.
Do you admit it?
I do.
Go ahead.
I
It's
admit it. I
own
admit
it.
it. I
Own it.
admit they're right
Okay.
over there. And I think I just found like two or three more in my closet. So yes, because I don't know how to get rid of them. I don't know how to get rid of them.
Right.
So
Send me to fix them. We talked about that.
I
So
do. I do need to do that.
yeah. So so in that respect, I am proud of you. You have a PC. You have a gaming PC
Mhm.
that works,
That
and
works.
you are killing it. You're killing it. So,
Thanks. It's only
but
taken 20 years. So,
but yeah, I just so I believe in when we find good stuff that works because as everyone knows these days, there are products out there that make a lot of claims, and you go to pick one up, you're like, damn, that looks good, and you
mhm.
get it home, and it just doesn't look or work anything like they said.
Yep.
So, in part of the coffee or controllers and coffee show, I'd like to start with, um, making recommendations, things that I enjoy, things that I purchased. We are not sponsored. Just telling you what is what has worked for me. And you know, um, my most recent purchase is actually this microphone right here. So we tried to do get the stream started. Um, tried to get the stream started, but I live in a situation where sharing a space with the family, and oftentimes that space is somebody else needs to use it. So the microphone that I had before often picked up room noise and caused some issues with the family. So I went out and I picked up this mic specifically because it advertised that it gives you great sound even in a busy room. It was designed for multi-person podcasts and um, eliminating background noise. So if you're in that situation, I would highly recommend the Shure MV7. It is a fantastic microphone. Fantastic. The room noise, I won't say it's completely gone, but man, what a difference.
And see, you can barely hear him coughing.
Yeah.
You can barely
So
barely hear him coughing as he turns away. Um,
yeah, the difference being is like I used to have a used to I still have Blue Yeti. I purchased that based on YouTube recommendations. However, that type of microphone picks is really strong for picking up background noise, so you need a quiet space.
Mm.
But this is a dynamic type microphone where it only picks up, depending on the settings, because it does have an app, but depending on the settings, it only picks up a couple of inches in front of the mic. And like Brad was saying, I just turned around and coughed, and you could barely hear it. So yeah, that's my hardware recommendation for this go around. Um,
So
just
how does
your
that
NV7.
is that I'm assuming it's completely USB, plugs right into your USB port on your computer.
Oh no, well it does. This particular version, there are two versions of the MV7. There's an MV7 and an MV7X.
Hmm.
The MV7 comes with the USB. Um, yeah, double check this before purchasing because I may have it mixed up. But I'm almost certain the MV7, which I did purchase, has the USB and an XLR connection, which is the analog.
Okay.
So if you could use this microphone with an analog interface or a digital interface as well. So if you have a high-powered digital interface already, you can plug it in with an XLR and get probably even better quality with your DI. So, um, but the MB7X is XLR only. It does not have the USB, so you got to pay a little bit extra to get the USB. So if you do have a digital interface, you can save a couple of bucks and get the XLR only version, the MB7X. Does that answer your question?
Absolutely, 100% it does. 100% it does.
But yeah, um, it's right out of the box, fantastic. Worked 100%, and it saved I think 150 bucks over what everybody else gets from Shure. It's the SM7B.
Hmm.
That's the legendary microphone that all of the top podcasts use. Um, I mean, from vocalists, podcasts, everything. And the SM7B is high end ish. It's the legend. The
Well,
MB7 is the new model that's directed right at podcasters.
I am not at that level yet. I still use my headset. Um, I
Well,
have
like I said, I was kind of forced into this one just because of my situation here at the house, but it did do the job, and it works fantastic, and I love it.
good.
And we're trying to get our money's worth now.
Um,
So
so Bane, let me ask you a question.
yeah,
Uh, did you ever play Witcher 3?
I have it, but I never played it. I played
That's
the first two.
so but you've played the series. You've played a.
Oh God, yeah,
See, I have not
fantastic game,
played. I have not played any of them. I've got Witcher
dude.
3. It's in my library, ready for me to download and start playing. But I've never played it. And I'm just
Yeah,
reading an article here. It says The Witcher 4 is now in pre-production.
yeah. Well, you better get to playing because you got three games to catch up on. You better get to catch. Yeah. So you're gonna love it.
You
You're
think
gonna,
so?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Um, you're gonna love it. I guarantee you.
All right.
Incredible, incredible games.
I've watched the series on Netflix, but I haven't. I've never played the game. I don't remember why because it's definitely my type of game. It's right up my alley,
Yeah.
but I have not.
The game's just like the book, or just like we know everyone always says the book is better.
Mhm.
The game's better than the TV show.
Oh
It,
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The TV show's good, but
Yeah.
the games were just you know. So
So yeah,
yeah,
that's
is that
getting
on?
added to my list of games to look out for. Um, Sometime in 2023. That's all it says.
Hmm,
That's all it says. Sometime in 2023. So 2023 seems like it's going to be somewhat of a busy year. Ooh, excuse me. I
I don't,
meant to mute my microphone.
being that we're almost halfway through 2022 already. and they're in pre-production, I would put money down that says it's going to get pushed back, or at least the release date will be like December thirty
Just
first, twenty
right,
twenty three.
right. You know,
So
and as sad as it is to say, I don't with the way current things are going,
yeah,
video game wise. I don't take any date I see for a video game getting released. I don't take it to heart. 9 times out of
well,
10, most of them are going to be pushed back.
making games is hard. I mean,
Yeah, 100%. I'm not
you
hating
can
on them.
stop
I'm not upset about it. Um, but yeah,
any
that
game.
says just sometime in 2023. I'm not expecting
Yeah,
it to 2024. I'll be
yeah,
I'll let myself be pleasantly surprised when it does come out in 2023.
yeah. And it's nothing bad on them.
Nope, not at
Nothing
all.
bad on them at all.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Nothing bad. Nothing negative.
Yeah.
Ooh, Fortnite. I
What was
cannot get into Fortnite. God bless.
Dude, I wish you would. And I'm not talking about the PvP. I'm not talking about PvP. And the PvP is fun.
No.
Believe it or not, it is fun. Yeah, yeah. Hey,
No.
I'm telling you, they have a lot of good elements in there. But the one that I wanted you to do was to save the world with me because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the gameplay, the card shit and all that crazy stuff that they have outside of the combat is just crazy. I don't I don't know. It's so confusing building the card teams and the commanders and all. It's just, but I mean, there's people that get it. I've seen it on. I had to look it up on YouTube. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? But but I mean, overall, it's a really good, pretty good experience.
Hmm.
The PVE stuff because it's base building co-op. You know, what is it called? That castle defense. So
Hmm.
you got the hordes of zombies that are coming to destroy whatever, and you got to build stuff and defend against the zombies, and it's pretty damn fun. But so hopefully one day you'll get in. Keep pushing.
No. He's been trying for years.
Well, I mean, fucker. Damn it. But
um.
yeah,
So, Jace, you ever heard of Vampire the Masquerade?
yes, no, I've not played it. Isn't that
Okay.
an
So,
MMO?
no. Um. Vampire the Masquerade is a tabletop RPG that I used to play in high
Uh,
school with some high school friends. It is
Really?
transitioned into the video
Game,
game
yeah.
world. Well, right now they have this game on the PlayStation called Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. Blood Hunt. It's a PvP battle royale type game, and this article,
So, Vampire Fortnite. Get the fuck out of
yes, just without the building.
here.
Um,
Yeah.
this article published by PC Gamer, again PC Gamer, love those guys. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt ranked mode paused because PS5 owners keep getting wrecked. So
Well,
that just continues the
told you.
the
PC
conflict
rules
between
all, baby.
PC and console. Which one's better? Which one's better? Um, and
I remember all the talk. I remember all the talk when the X. I don't even know which fucking model they're on the Xbox Series X, the X. I don't know how many. Which one is it now?
I'm pretty sure it's the
The Series
XS,
X,
Series
Series X.
X, something like that.
Okay,
I'm not an
well,
Xbox gamer, so
I know, dude. They need somebody over at Microsoft that can name these fucking things
just give them a name.
because call it the Xbox One, Two,
Right,
Three,
exactly.
Four.
PlayStation got it right. Like, look, this is the
Right.
PlayStation. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one.
If I wanted to walk in and buy the new generation of the Xbox, I couldn't do it. I'm like, I don't know what. what are they on now? But anyway,
I don't know what the
so
newest one is.
my point is, they said when the new generation came out that they were finally tying up they're tying the game with with the PC.
Mm.
You know, oh, we're fine. Consoles finally caught up. No, no, no. I mean, you're talking about they got the Nvidia 3000 series. I think the 4000 is coming out soon. It just the fucking ridiculous processors that AMD and Intel are putting out. No, no, it's not even close. But I mean, granted, you got to pay a lot more money. But I mean, it's not a tie game.
Again,
Sorry, I had to say it.
my issue is I buy a console, I download a game, the game plays. Yes, it still crashes, but chances are when the game crashes, I don't have to fix my PlayStation.
How many games have you had to fix on PC since you got it? How many?
Since I've
Not very
got this
many.
computer, no.
Yeah, not very many.
Right. Since I got this
So,
computer. But
right.
in the past, which is how things ended up getting broken, the shit was never working.
Well, I mean,
I gotta change the motherboard. I gotta change a video card, or I gotta change a hard drive, or you know, I, dude, I just want to play the game.
you
Just
bought a good one from the start. That's what you got to do.
you get what you pay for,
You
right?
right. Yeah, you get what you pay for. I mean, well, not always, but I mean, yes, most of the time. Especially when you're buying PC components. And now, I mean, I know the one that you have now is store bought, but it's not the store bought from 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Right,
It's now they're building gaming PCs and selling them as a store bought, but a real gaming PC,
right.
not and not something where they just slapped a fucking sticker on it. Fuck that.
Call it a gaming.
You know what I mean? Like the fucking Fiero or whatever.
Oh,
But
son of a bitch! I was looking forward to this.
what?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I saw PC Gamer again. I've been looking forward to. Um, Bane got me hooked on this game. Help me
What's that?
remember what it is. The Marvel game that.
Hooked. I was hooked on it. I don't even remember what the fuck. I don't remember what the name was, but I was hooked on it. Sorry.
Marvel. Uh,
Marvel Heroes.
he.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Have respect. Have some respect. I have some respect. Marvel Heroes.
Great game.
Yes.
Absolutely enjoyed that game. So when I found out a few months ago, actually, that Marvel was coming out with an MMO,
Right.
I was
What?
freaking
Did
excited.
what did
I was
what
freaking
did
excited.
you're not talking about that bullshit that Square Enix put out, are you? That's not the MMO you're talking about, I hope.
No, what are you talking about?
No. I'm talking about the damn Avengers game that they came out
Oh
with.
no, no, no,
They
no,
sold
no,
like three.
no. Daybreak
Y'all should
Games.
be what?
Daybreak Games. They were making a Marvel MMO.
Daybreak?
Yeah.
How dare you? No.
Why?
No. Dude, you know who Daybreak is. You remember that, right?
I I remember. I remember. If it's the same Daybreak I think of, it's one of my all-time favorite games.
Well, okay. I will give them the benefit of the doubt that the company must have changed by now. I mean, Smed's out, I think. Smed's gone. He's doing something different now. I think he's at Amazon Games now. But anyway, um, they, dude, they're responsible for the biggest travesty in MMO gaming.
Wait,
The NGE.
I think I
What?
had it. I think I got it backwards.
What? Daybreak. It
Daybreak bought
was
Sony, or bought
no,
Daybreak took over SWG from
no,
uh,
no. Daybreak. It was the remnants of SOE, Sony
SOE.
Online
Yeah,
Entertainment. Yes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
They took over SWG after Sony SOE.
yeah, so Sony, if I remember correctly, and feel anyone watching, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but Sony put the clamps on SOE, and then what was left for the people that were left in SOE, what was SOE formed Daybreak Games,
And
and
that's where
they
the
took over.
NGE came out.
No, no, that was the NG was when they were SOE. I'm pretty sure it was a long time ago, so I could be fuzzy,
Yeah, I'm about to say it's 20 something years ago.
but yeah, but they were SOE. They were definitely SOE and LucasArts when the NG dropped. So I've
Then how can
never
you be mad at Daybreak Games for?
because I hold I hold a grudge, brother.
But but SOE did that, not Daybreak Games, from what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is they rebranded. They rebranded because Sony dropped them.
Okay, I got it. I was misunderstanding
Well,
what you were saying.
and like I said, feel free to correct me. I have no problems admitting if I'm giving false information, and I
Yeah,
will
somebody go out
apologize.
there and fact check us. Fact check
But
us.
but just off the top of my head, I remember, Sony dropped SOE, and they formed a new, and the folks that were working there formed Daybreak Games, and they kept going with DCUO, and I think
See, that's what I'm.
Zombie
That's what I was hoping.
H1 H1N1 or H1Z1 something anyway. But they had a
Oh,
zombie game and they had DCUO. But
that's
if you remember, DCUO was SOE,
right.
so it didn't actually change hands. They just rebranded and
Okay,
formed a new company.
okay. Then that's what
So
I was misunderstanding. Um,
yeah, and that was under John Smedley, if you remember that name.
barely.
Um, and but like I said, I think John Smedley, for various reasons, left Daybreak, and I think if I remember last time I heard about him, he was at Amazon, uh, Amazon Gaming,
Mm,
Amazon Games. So, um, but yeah, I mean, there was a lot of heartache back in those days over what happened. So,
well, the article here, because you mentioned DCUO, I've been wanting a Marvel MMO like DCUO because again, not a big DC fan. I'm more of a Marvel fan. But Daybreak was in the works of making a Marvel MMO, and
oh,
the article from PC Gamer says the Marvel MMO project at Daybreak Games has been canceled.
not a surprise.
So that's kind of heartbreaking. I've been ever since I played DCUO. Jesus, what was 2007, 2008, something like
Yeah.
that. When we started playing DCUO the first time, I've been wanting a Marvel MMO, wanting one
My
so
fear
bad.
for that was it was going to be DCO with Marvel skins.
And I
That was
see,
my
I would be okay with that because again, I'm a bigger Marvel fan than I am DC.
well, I would have been fine with it too, except the damn
The
microtransactions in
microtransactions, see how
DCO
everything goes full circle.
got out of control.
It was bad.
It's just
It was,
unbelievable.
it was very bad when you can't even run a
And
dungeon unless you spend $5 to buy a ticket to run
right,
a dungeon.
it just unbelievable. That's why I ultimately ended up quitting because I was with you, man. I loved that game.
Yep.
We played a lot of DCUO,
Yep.
a lot, and um, but the fact that we had to pay to play,
Yeah.
I mean, and on top of a subscription,
Yes. You had a
uh,
subscription and then you still had to pay to win.
right?
That's
So
what that's
it's
what
just,
was jacked up.
but the other reason why I say I'm not surprised that it was canceled, why the Marvel project was canceled, is because if you remember, they were also working on EverQuest Next.
No, I don't remember that. I've never played EverQuest as much as I love MMOs. I've never played EverQuest.
Well, for a few years, EverQuest Next was going to be the next generation of MMOs.
Hmm.
It had what appeared to be in their preview videos some unbelievably gorgeous visuals. And then they came out with Landmark, which is a partner game, which ended up being like a Minecraft type deal,
Right.
where it's a building game. It was a building game, and it was. it was fantastic.
Hmm.
I bought. We talked about earlier how I will invest in a game with the founders pack
Yep.
when I believe in a game, and I
Right.
bought. I think it was $200, maybe or $100 each. But I bought the top level of the Landmark Founders Pack.
Mm.
That's how into it I was, and I put a couple hundred hours into Landmark, and then ultimately, EverQuest Next was canceled. Landmark was pushed to release early, and then canceled, and I never got. And it wasn't in a release state. They just released it so they could have microtransactions out there. And that may be speculation about why they released it, but that's what it damn sure felt like.
You're right.
So when you ask me about Daybreak Games and I start raging, you know,
Hulk
we're
smash.
looking at we're looking at we're looking at the number one, we're looking at the NGE.
Mm.
We're oh no, we can go back further than that. We're looking at the combat upgrade.
Pre-CU, yeah, or CU, yeah.
We're looking at the combat upgrade in SWG. Then we're looking at the NGE.
Yep.
Then we're looking at the microtransactions that run DCO for us.
Yep.
Then we're looking at the cancellation of EverQuest Next. We're looking at the the money grabbing in Landmark. You know, it's just time after time that I've started trusting this company and wanting to spend money for them. You know, this kind of shit happens. There's always something at the end. So yeah, no, I don't. Even if that Marvel game came out with that Daybreak name attached to it, I wouldn't. They'd have to prove it to me first.
Okay. Well, you've convinced me. Fuck Daybreak. Got it.
So that's my history with Daybreak. That's why I won't do it. So anyway, just my opinion. Sorry, but that's they were those experiences were some of the biggest.
Influences in your gaming life?
Yeah, I was gonna use the F bomb, but those are some of the biggest times that I lost money
Hmm.
on games was was through Daybreak. So anyway, rant
Yeah.
over.
No, that's absolutely perfectly fine. Um,
Yeah,
Again, I don't pay attention to publishers that much, which is why I ended up getting SOE and Daybreak confused. Um,
yeah. But just
but
it's easiest for me. I just think of them as one of the same because, like I said, it was really to me. It felt like just a rebranding.
okay, all
Yeah,
right. I've liked games that Daybreak has been attached to, but everything that you said is 100%, with the exception of the EverQuest stuff, because I never played EverQuest or experienced any of that. But like we were talking about with DCO and Daybreak games,
if
I
you
still enjoy DCO. I still enjoy playing it. I haven't downloaded it, I haven't played it in a couple of years now, but it's
yeah,
still at the top of my list of just fun games to play.
right, and they fed on it.
Yeah, yep.
You know,
If it wasn't for
so
microtransactions and loot boxes, because it's they have a free to play, but you can't do shit free to play. You can't even grind your way through the end game. You just
right,
can't get to the end game if you're free to play.
mm,
And the Star Wars: The Old
and
Republic is headed in the same direction.
right,
The-
and we talked about that. We were talking about going back to Star Wars, and every time I think about going back to Star Wars, I remember it just turned into a credit grind.
yep,
And then, of course, the only way to alleviate that credit grind is to purchase things from the store and then sell them on the auction house
yep.
or whatever they call it, the auction house. But yeah,
Market, yeah. But yeah,
so
that's it's all about money now.
well, we still, I mean, we still managed to find our good times,
Oh,
So
absolutely,
we still,
100%,
we still,
100%. It's okay that it's all about money because I have no problem paying that money
right. It's still a
if it's
business
worthwhile.
in the end.
If it's worthwhile,
I'm not sitting here telling them they got to give me this shit for free.
right?
I'm not saying I'm entitled to them working their asses off or me not paying. I'm just saying that you know the balance is off.
Yep.
The balance is off, and you just taking, gutting a game to sell it off piece by piece on sometimes on day one,
Yep.
on release day, when you're like, oh, we have day one DLC.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was talking about earlier with V Rising.
right,
That's it's in early access, and
right,
they've got two
right,
DLCs already. Well, we'll say one DLC. One's a Founders Pack, so that's expected. So we'll say one DLC already.
right.
So come day one of release, like you just said, we got three DLCs for you to purchase, as well as purchase the entire body of the game.
You
That
know what?
tells
That's such
me
a
I'm just
yeah.
buying, I'm spending extra for the entire game.
You know where I got to look at myself though. You know where I got to look at myself though is I'm a hypocrite.
Well,
Is
most
I
humans
sit
are.
here and I fucking complain about day one DLC, but I will buy the shit out of a collector's edition. Like I love collector's editions, like because I love the power when we log into the game and they're like, oh, how did you get that cape? And I'm like, I paid them,
See, I paid the money
you know,
for it. I'm rich, bitch.
I paid money for it. So I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect because that's all. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, collector's editions, that's all it really is just another DLC, day one DLC.
I normally do not buy collector's editions. There will be every once in a
Uh,
while games that I will buy the collector's edition.
uh,
Um, but I normally do not. Because like even V Rising, as much as we're playing that game and we're enjoying playing that game, I still
yeah.
haven't bought the two DLCs.
Wow. If you, I would say the founders pack at least, just because if we enjoy it that much, support them.
Hmm.
Founders packs, I believe in. You know, Marvel Heroes, I bought when I tried out Marvel Heroes in the beta, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna support these guys because it was a damn good game. Um, so yeah, I just like we talked about earlier, I will open the wallet if the effort level is there.
Right.
But
If it's worthwhile.
well, just asking another devil's advocate question is people that do buy a lot of microtransactions, is that all they're doing? Is just supporting, opening their wallet because they believe in the game? Maybe
I
you're
would
the
say
asshole.
some are yes. I would say
So
some yes. Here, take my money. I love the company. I love the game. Take my money. But then you
right,
have some people who are just I want to have everything. I want to I want to be able to if it's a PvP type game, I want to have all of the best gear, so I will pay the extra bucks. So the 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 game itself
yeah,
will cover my skills that I may or may not have.
right. So just looking at it from the other way, just thinking the other way around, because retrospection is not the worst thing. Keeping it real.
Hmm.
Um, so when we look at it, do we only complain about the DLCs that we don't want to buy?
No, I complain about all
You
of
With
them.
DLCs or microtransactions, it's like, okay, well, I'm willing to buy a collector's edition. I'm willing to buy a founder's pack. But when you look at it, essentially, they're all the exact same thing.
Mhm.
It's content ripped from content. It's content ripped from the full
The
game
full game. Yeah, I
that
agree.
they're selling in different ways. So, in the end, I think I'm the asshole sitting here complaining because I'm a hypocrite. You know what I mean? Like I complain about the ones that I don't want to buy, but will happily fork over the cash for the ones that. So yeah. Anyway, just thinking because I
That's
don't want people.
that goes back to what we were saying earlier, though, about supporting the company, supporting the game.
Yeah.
You know, if you enjoy the game and you feel it's worth your time and your money, buy it.
Mm.
No problems, no issues. I'm talking about the games that I feel, this is strictly just me, I feel are half-assed, incomplete, or they're trying to rip us off.
So there should be a minimum quality
In
before they're
my
allowed
set,
to.
if I ruled the world, absolutely.
Before you're allowed to put out a microtransaction store, you have to have passed the Braz quality test.
If Brass ruled the world, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have because again, I
Yep.
don't have a problem with microtransactions as long as the game is worthwhile.
Right on.
You
Well,
know,
I can see that.
um,
Valid.
one of our things is we both Bane and myself we enjoy watching Angry Joe. Mad credit, mad props to him.
Yeah.
Angry Army rules. Um,
Yeah. AJ, you know, and other Joe, we love you too, man.
yeah,
Fucking hilarious. You
uh,
guys, the Saints Row 4. If by any chance ever you watch this, and I gotta tell you that Saints Row 4 review, where you actually went to the store and bought the purple toy, I had tears running down my face. Like I was laughing so hard. Anyway, I had to mention that because that was one of the that's when I fell in love with those guys. I mean, I just the extra the props and everything
the
that they
energy they
do,
put into it. Yeah.
energy they put into it.
Um,
Um,
but
yeah,
what I was gonna say, Angry Joe, he's got this review that he did on Madden. I think it was Madden 21, and I'm pretty
yeah,
sure it was the same on 22 also. But he
yeah.
went off because it's it's Madden. They've been doing this for 20 something years, and they
Right.
gave like maybe I think 10 different faces when you customize your character. You only had
And
10, and the
the
rest of them were
rest of them are all
microtransactions.
DLC.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
I've
know,
seen that, and
um,
that's exactly what I was talking about in Madden before. Like it is the epitome of the microtransaction world.
right?
That's how bad Madden and the EA Sports games have gotten. And not just EA. I mean, sure, it's the other ones.
Yeah,
But I stopped playing 2K. I stopped playing golf. It just,
I have definitely fallen away from the sports games.
yeah,
I have
yeah. I
definitely
mean, they're
fallen
just
away.
huge traps.
Yep.
I, at, well, actually, what I found was going out and playing the real sport is actually more fun.
um,
So,
yeah, I think
my,
the last Madden that I played was Madden 99.
yeah,
I think that was the last Madden that I played.
99. Good lord, how are you even in this conversation?
Bitch, I'm
That
only
was
a
like
year older
16
than
bit.
you. Don't talk to
Yeah, but 99, that's like 16-bit or
me.
something. I mean, that
No, it was
was,
32. It was.
oh, okay. Well, you might have even been on the Nintendo 64 or whatever.
I'm pretty sure it
Anyway,
was actually. Sega Genesis. Yeah, Sega Genesis
Madden and
maybe.
some GoldenEye.
Fuck yeah. What you know about GoldenEye,
More, you wouldn't, bro.
bro?
We had tournaments every week in the dorm. Every week. The four scream, the four-player scream.
Hmm.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Brutal.
We used to do the same thing at
Brutal.
my house.
And then then we messed up and turned it into a drinking game.
Of course, I think everybody did that.
Oh, dude.
I think
Yeah.
everybody did that.
GoldenEye. That shit was all, yeah. Huh. That was good times. Those
Rainbow.
were good times.
This article says Rainbow Six Siege will now remember if you're a bad teammate.
And do what?
They are
And what do
turn.
you mean by bad? Like a cheater or just a
So the
really bad
quote
death
is
ratio?
preemptive reverse friendly fire aims to stop griefers before they can grief. Friendly fire enthusiasts be warned. Rainbow Six Siege's next update, Operation Vector Glare, will bring new sanctions against serial griefers. I wish
Uh,
Lycan were on. Where is I
why?
need Lycan because Lycan, if you haven't,
Something happened like it. Oh,
no,
that's right. She streams Rainbow Six
yeah, she
sometimes.
streams Rainbow Six, Rainbow
Okay.
Six Siege. So I really wish she were on,
Okay.
and could answer this question because I've never played Rainbow Six Siege because again it's a huge PvP game and I
Right.
don't do or like PvP. It's not enjoyable to me. So I want to hear from her what her thoughts are on that.
Right.
You got Lycan
That's
on
a good.
Discord? Can you send Lycan a message? Tell her to jump on our stream. We got a couple questions I want to ask her. Because I've always been so like Rainbow Six when it first came out, I absolutely loved the game. I had a blast playing it.
Right.
But
But that was back in the day when it was just a like a single player
yeah, it was
or a
single player.
multiplayer.
Yep.
I don't remember if it was their multiplayer. It was just single player, right?
No, it
And
was
you
single
had
player.
AI
You
bots.
controlled your team. Yep.
Yeah, and then it was all about planning
Hmm.
the extraction for of the and then now it turned into map PvP. So
Right. Because again, as we've both said several times, PvP is easier. Just create a map and let the players go kill themselves. That's it. No
well,
thought, no story.
from
Um,
a business standpoint, from a developer standpoint, you get the most entertainment for the least amount of creation
yeah,
of
makes
content
perfect sense.
generation. Yeah,
Makes
and
absolute
so
perfect sense.
you can't. I mean, you can't fault them for that. They're trying to make you. They are trying to make money.
Yep, I
So
understand that.
so that's where the battle royales come in. When you
Hmm.
can entertain 100 people at a time, you know, with one map and
Yes.
a couple of guns,
Hmm.
like go for it.
Yeah, but then you have people, you have assholes like me who refuse to buy or play a perfectly good game just because I don't like PvP.
But you know what?
So
I watched my daughter go from a complete noob, not only to Fortnite, but to video games in general. I didn't. It, she she got her PS4 Pro for her birthday one year. She's like, Dad, I want to play Fortnite with my friends. I'm like, have fun. She got on there. She was pretty frustrated, and she just kept dying and dying and dying. Man, it wasn't 3 months. She was ready to be a streamer. she was. I
murdering
I
everybody.
I hope we still have on the PlayStation. I hope we still have that. There was one replay that she did this move I couldn't believe. She took this guy out from like halfway across the map with a sniper rifle while she was sliding on a zip line.
Hmm.
And I was like going backwards too, I think. And I was like, what the So I actually made her stop playing and save the clip, So cuz like how the hell did you and I'm just good, she said.
we
So
call that skills,
we could, in the biz we call it skills.
right?
So, and I don't know if it's her generation or what, or she just put the time in, but she got pretty damn good at Fortnite, man. So I'm pretty sure we could do it too. And it doesn't have to be Fortnite. It could be Rainbow Six.
I'm trying to reach out to Lycan.
Hmm.
I'm trying to reach out to Lycan. I really want to get her on and get her hear her thoughts and her opinions on this because she is a
Yeah.
huge streamer. If anybody's watching this and you haven't watched Lycan Goddess, watch Lycan Goddess. She is a very good streamer. I
Yeah.
want um,
And not only a great streamer, but a great person
yeah.
because she, I mentioned it before in the stream. She helped us get started.
Yep.
She rated our channel. I mean, she's just a sweetheart.
Yep. She really is
So
just a nice person. So
yeah,
absolutely, by all means, people, if you can, go and support Lycan Goddess. Let me give her a quick shout out. And now, let's say, she was her last stream was Grand Theft Auto 5. So
and we weren't in on it.
no,
Well, maybe she was playing solo. I don't know if
no, she
if
was
she
probably
won.
streaming. I know she streams with Moonchild, one of her
Um,
one of her friends.
yeah,
But
we had such an amazing time playing with her last time.
yeah,
You know that we were doing those heists.
yep,
Dude, we were cutting up.
yeah,
We got to
she is.
highlight that. I think we got a backlog of highlights we need to make, and that's definitely one of them. Was that video
Yeah,
that stream where we were doing heists on GTA with Lycan.
yep, yeah. I was hoping I could get her and have her jump in just so I can
Yeah,
ask her because I've always had a huge interest in Rainbow Six Siege, and I've been trying to
yeah.
swallow my hatred for PvP just because the game, it looks fun. It looks
Right.
fun watching Lycan play. But I just can't I can't get past it. So I want to hear
Just
what
got.
her
I
thoughts
mean,
are on the griefers.
well, yeah, then bot bad. I don't know if I don't know how bad the bots are in that game. I don't know what kind of anti cheat they have, but man, that's what makes it not fun. Is
Hmm.
just as soon as a good game comes out, there's people making aim bots for it,
Yep.
and you just
Yeah, I mean, just bots. Period. Take a look at what was that Lost Ark? My God,
oh yeah,
dude, I enjoy Lost Ark. I like playing the game. I like I like everything about the game, except for the bots, the gold
yeah, and
spammers. That the gold, and
that's
then
why I'm
even more so than the bots, just the gold spammers themselves. Those guys there are just like you can't even chat with anybody because it's constant
yeah
spammers,
yeah. I mean,
constant.
it's relentless. I mean, and I think I read an article recently about Amazon's plan to
Mm,
combat all that, but and maybe they should have thought about it at the beginning. And I mean, I'm not criticizing, but everybody knows that there's been a problem for 2 decades.
yep,
So
yep.
I mean, it's not like a new thing.
WoW was bad for them when they first started out too.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was horrible. Trying to
Yep,
get a group in Orgrimmar with spammers is like, ugh.
yep,
Anyway, um, but yeah, just like you said, Lost Ark. That's the recent victim because I know that's why I stopped streaming Lost Ark.
yep,
I was having a great time, but there were too many multi bots running by.
yep. Absolutely.
Right? What do they call it? Multi boxers, not bots.
Multi,
Multi
yeah,
boxers.
yeah, boxers.
Yeah, and they were, and you just know they were farmers.
Yep.
So I mean, you know,
It's just
even
people.
my favorite game, Diablo. I mean, Diablo 3 was riddled with bots.
Really?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's horrible. So
I
I
don't ever
mean,
remember that.
yeah. I mean, check the leaderboards, brother. check check the leaderboards on the season.
Hmm.
So I'm not saying there aren't awesome players out there, but there there's a lot of tools for Diablo 3. Trust me.
And I don't understand why people have to do that. Like I want to find one of these people that does something like that and just ask them why. What's the purpose? What do you
Uh,
get out of that?
bragging rights later to say, "Oh, I got blah blah blah."
But you
Well,
didn't
I
really
mean,
do it.
if you want to look about what, if you want to think about what we were just talking about with the RMTs, I mean, the farmers, they're getting real money. It's a business. It,
So
that's all there is.
yes,
It's cat, brother. I mean,
yes.
you. So I mean, but in terms of any other normal player that would use it, they're using it for an advantage to get bragging rights or get the to finish the game faster or whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. But
But you didn't really do it.
what?
If you're using a bot, just like
Well,
so
maybe
when I
that's where
think
the
of when I think
disconnect
of a
is.
bot, when I think of a bot, it
Mm.
takes me back to SWG. All right. So again,
Oh
we're
no, they're way
every
more
every
sophisticated than
stream
that now.
for those of you guys watching, every stream that we talk about, we're going to mention SWG. Just be ready for it because it's
Well,
it's the game that connected me and Bane, and
yeah,
it's the first. It was my first real introduction to an MMO, and
yeah.
it's just an amazing freaking game. But when I think of a bot, that's what I think of is SWG typing the macros or running macros and then going to sleep, waking up 8 hours later, and your
Those
your dancer is now ready to train because your macro kept your character logged in and dancing all night.
these are a little different though. I mean, that was those were game supported. You wrote those game macros in the game.
Yes, yes. So I understand the difference, but my
Yeah,
point
just
is when
yeah,
I
just
woke up
FYI.
when I
Yeah,
woke up 8 hours later and I was ready to go train because, like I said, my dancer had uh, he had got enough experience over the 8 hours because he was dancing all night. I didn't feel like I did it. He
right.
was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to go train." I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. The computer did it all. I didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So that's what I was
That
saying in like Diablo 3, those people using bots to get to the top of the leaderboard. Did you really get to the top of the leaderboard if you had a bot running it for you?
well, I mean, okay. Let's talk about a different game, and we'll just throw one more in there. There are a lot of add-ons for Pokemon Go, right? Everybody's playing Pokemon Go. Everybody knows it's a long ass grind.
Hmm.
But if you watch, I think what's his name, Brandon Tan, the world's number one player,
Okay.
it, he had some YouTube videos or documentary on him on how he plays, and he talks about they use the add-ons. You know, they use the add-ons to find the perfect spawns or and whatever else. But he said it's just what you have to do in order to be one of the top.
You don't you don't consider that an unfair advantage because there are some people out there who can't do that, don't have the knowledge to do that, don't have
I,
the money to do that.
well, I mean, but I mean, when you're scratching and clawing your way to the top, you're going to use whatever advantage you can get, and essentially that's what you're after is just to be able to say you're the top. I mean,
No matter
whether
how you got there.
no matter how you got there, because
Is that a
believe it
fair
or
is
not,
that a fair competition though? You've got this one guy who's got the
it,
money, he's got the knowledge to use these add-ons, but then he's competing with, this 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old over here who doesn't have the knowledge, doesn't have the money, but is still trying to claw his way to the top. Is
I
that
feel
fair?
bad for that 8-year-old. But
8-year-old
it
may have been
just
a bad number.
you know what? I'll throw it out there. It might not be fair, but what is fair? You know, what is when is anything ever fair?
Equality is fair.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Equality is fair. And when it comes to a video game, it should be equal.
and everyone's sense of accomplishment is different.
For
Because
for
I guess
example, no, go ahead.
you could argue that it takes a lot of work to code those bots.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of work to well, even if you're not even the person that makes those bots, you got to go find it, download it, install it, make sure it works, and get it running. So maybe they're putting the work in a different way. But
Right, but somebody like me who doesn't have that knowledge or experience to do that, is it a fair competition? Like, take me and you for example. You've got
okay,
the knowledge to do that. You've got the experience to do that. Is it a fair
but I don't.
competition? Is it a fair
Okay.
competition to where if you use those bots, add-ons, whatever you want to call them, and I didn't? Is that a fair competition? It is not a fair competition. For example, in B Rising, the reason I don't play on a PvP server,
Yeah.
okay, is because I don't need somebody who's level 81, max level, running around and destroying my castle after I spend literally 6, 7, 8 hours building my castle up. And then
Right.
somebody goes and destroys it because they're 8 levels higher than me. That's just not a fair, it's not a fair competition.
Well, like I said, man, it's PvP is not fair. I know. Well, okay. Here's what I'll say about the fairness. The fairness is that you both started at the exact same point. That's where the fairness comes in. Is that well, take Diablo for example. Brand new season, naked character, nothing in the bank, no Paragon levels, no nothing. Everybody starts in the exact same place.
Hmm. And
It's
then
what you do from there that counts.
and then one person uses a bot, and two
Yeah,
hours later, he is now max level, 1200 level Paragon, and you're level 15. Is that fair? No,
Well,
it's
obvious.
not fair.
I,
You're
well,
not going to be able to keep up. Take you are a Chicago Cubs fan.
mhm.
Okay, you are a Chicago Cubs fan. I when I was watching and into baseball, I was an Oakland Athletics fan. All right, got to represent. um, uh, let's say my Athletics and your Cubs are playing against each other.
Right.
My Athletics, they're all using steroids.
Yeah.
Your Cubs are not.
So
They
what?
all start off the same. Is that a fair competition?
Steroids? Okay, well, that's all. Come on, man. That's
It's,
apples and oranges.
it,
Steroids and baseball don't make a fucking bit of difference.
well, you
I
know what
don't
I
care.
mean. You know what my point is.
Well, if
Yes,
you
I.
want to get into steroids and baseball, I got opinions. I'm telling you right now.
We just went a whole new direction. We just
Steroid steroids do not make you hit the ball any fucking better. It might make you hit it a little bit harder, but you definitely still got to be a good hitter. You
yeah.
might you, you got to have skill. But anyway, my point is and you know what? That kind of translates to video games too.
You got to have skills.
Even if you have the fucking bot, you got to know how to use it. You have to have the skill to use it.
Right.
Even if
But
you
it
have
still
the
goes
advantage.
back. If I don't have the skill to use it, is that a fair competition? It's not a fair competition.
Well, that's why they have anti-cheats, Brad.
Yeah, because
Because
they
they're
all
trying to get.
work.
Well, they know they obviously they don't, but I mean, at least the company's trying to stop it. But you know as well as I do, the good guys very rarely win.
Yeah.
I mean, take for example in music, um, copywriting, right?
Hmm.
How many different schemes have they come up with trying to stop people from downloading, purchasing, or pirating music? I mean, all the way back to like CDs or DVDs when they tried to lock the DVDs so you can't burn them and shit. And people always find a way around, man.
Yep. Yep. I
They're
agree.
always looking. You're always looking for an advantage, and then if somebody finds an advantage, I don't know that you can fault them for it because the game is always going to be inherently unfair, except for the starting point.
Well, that's I don't know. I hate and we've talked about this before. I don't heal
Yep.
in games. Like in WoW, I didn't use Healbot. You know, um, and you were a big Healbot user in
Right,
WoW.
and there's also something that we need to consider here is that it also goes to the opinion of the person using that advantage,
Mm,
whether or not it's unfair or not.
right.
And you brought up the Healbot example. I didn't feel that was unfair because I still had to do the clicking. It was just a better user interface than what I was provided at the beginning.
But let's say you're doing PvP, okay,
Well, yeah,
and your opponent's healer didn't use Healbot, so they had to. I don't want to say work harder, but it was a more challenging job healing your team than what you had. So you had an advantage over them.
fuck them.
See,
That's
that's
what I
that
say. Fuck
that's that's the attitude right there. That's the
'em.
attitude right there.
Get Healbot.
That's the attitude.
You can download it from the same place I can.
I
I
tried.
mean,
I tried, and I could never get it to work because I don't have that skill or knowledge to get that to make that operate.
you never asked for help.
I gave up on healing. I hated healing anyway, so I just gave up on healing.
Uh, like I said, uh, people are going to look for an advantage in games and in life. They're always going to look for an advantage,
Yep.
and when they find it, they're going to use it. And you better too. You better do it too. I mean, unless it's something that's going to get you put in jail. But I mean, so I don't. I honestly don't know what to say about that because I don't like it any more than you do. That's why I don't PvP.
Mm.
That's why, most of the time. But you know what? When I actually do go in there in PvP, I have fun most of the time. Like Fortnite. Well, the other day in V Rising, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm killing this." What did I say? I'm PvPing him
Yeah.
because he picked up that silver, and I'm like, "Get him!"
Then
Because
I'm like,
sometimes,
no, dude.
yeah. So like
I,
when I feel like it's fair, when I feel like I have a shot, it's fun, even when I lose.
nah,
It's fun because in PvP inherently you're gonna die sometimes.
yeah,
You're
absolutely.
not always gonna win. Your shit's gonna get destroyed, but just like in life, the struggle makes you stronger. The struggle will
Or,
make you stronger.
or
Just like I was talking about my daughter.
it makes you quit the game.
Well, yeah, you can
So
do that.
unlike life, unlike life, there's
Unlike
not that
life,
option.
yeah. So, but I mean, you can quit the game, or you can sack up and go download the fucking bot. I'm kidding,
No, you're not. No, you're not.
but just, but you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying. So I mean, it's good that we have opposite, well, somewhat opposite sides. I mean, I kind of take things as they come, and I understand there's not much we can do about it because some of those companies are trying to do something about it.
Yes.
Lost Ark, for example. Lost Ark's anti-cheat is so strong that it takes like 5 minutes for the damn game to start.
Yeah. I
Well,
haven't even logged into the game since they implemented the anti cheat.
right, because the anti-cheat like scans the entire installation
Hmm.
to see what's attached, and it's like, but look at what people are still doing in Lost Ark, even though the company's trying to keep them out.
Yep.
So I mean,
Hmm.
people are gonna find they're gonna find a way around. They are gonna find a way around.
Uh, Bane, how are you doing on time?
Well, I'm looking at our stream time right now, and we're coming up on 2 hours, so we'll
Yep.
probably. I'm sure we can keep going up until the 2 hour mark, and then yeah, it's about time for dinner and getting ready for work tomorrow. So
Roger that. I got the uh, I got the rest of the day to do what my wife says.
yeah, hopefully one of these days we get enough support, we'll be able to kick back and shoot the shit about like this and play games all day long.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's what I
but
need. Or when I win the lottery. That's
uh,
that's another
uh,
that's another option.
isn't that essentially why we started the Twitch channel? Is because
Wanted to
we
win the
freaking
lottery?
do it anyway. No, I mean we started the Twitch channel because we do it anyway. We might as well put it out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
like we just been wasting we've been wasting content all these years.
It's the so when I told
We
my
have we
daughter
literally have, we literally have 20 years of content that we just threw down the drain. You
when I
know,
told my daughter that I was starting a Twitch stream, first thing she said was about time.
right, right,
Yep.
exactly.
Because
Because
yeah, we've been playing for yeah 2 decades. Two
yeah,
decades we've been playing. And,
together and
mm,
then separately, before we met each other, it was like another 2 decades before that.
right? Yep.
So I mean, because I remember when my dad brought home the Atari 2600. I mean, that was my first. I won't say it was my first. I mean, there was arcades before that, but the quarter arcades.
Yeah.
But that was
Sitting at home on the
Atari 20.
couch.
Right, the 2600 is what really set the hook,
Yep.
because it didn't. Now you didn't need quarters.
Right.
You know,
I can stay home
oh,
and do
that
this.
was
Absolutely.
right. I'm sick.
Right. Not going to school.
Combat Missile Command,
Yeah.
Night Driver.
Space Invaders, Moon Patrol.
Um, all the arcade games are at home. I
Yep.
mean, granted they weren't as good, but I mean, they weren't as good as the arcade, but they were good enough.
Yep. Good enough. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So
that's kind of the motto of video games now. Yeah, it's good enough.
uh, I would say that it's put it out now. We'll fix it later.
Right.
We'll fix it in the download
Yep,
or
we'll
we'll
fix it
patch
in
it.
DLC.
We'll patch
We know it's broke. We're gonna fix
it.
it in
Fuck it. We'll hop in.
the first patch.
Yeah, games as a service. Yeah, but uh, to advocate a little bit for the devs again, they it's not like they're making Missile Command in combat anymore. It,
Also true. Also true. And that's what I
they
said. I understand games are a lot more expensive now to make than
yeah,
what they were, 30 years ago, 35 years ago.
the dev cycle's insane. And we just talked about like Fallen Order 2.
Mm,
You know, it's supposed to release in 2023 or whatever.
right.
That's tight, bro. For a game like Fallen Order, that's tight. I
Yep.
mean, you're talking, and they're just not in pre-production. That's why I said I fully expected to be pushed back
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
I mean what an immense project these things are, and so I'm not. I don't want to say, think I don't want to sound like I'm knocking them, but I just wanted to give credit to what they are trying to accomplish because
Yeah.
dude,
That
just the just the
has damn it.
CGI, the asset generation is is crazy to sit there and watch a 3D artist modeling each one of those.
Lord knows I cannot do it. I am not judging them. I am not knocking them because that
Yeah,
is a skill and a talent that I would love to have. I do not have that knowledge, experience, skill. Praise be to
I
them because that is a lot
I'll
of work.
tell you
It
straight.
is a lot of schooling, a lot of knowledge that they put in to get to that point.
I am super excited to see where your son goes with it.
Yeah, me too. I told him. I
Yeah,
already told him. As soon as you get your first game developed,
yeah.
me and your uncle Bane are gonna be.
I yeah. Let me know when to put the app in for beta, bro, or
Yep.
alpha, whatever you need. I'm right there.
Yep.
So
I will
yeah,
absolutely
and
beta test the shit out of that. And I told him, don't expect, I don't expect no garbage.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
Because I will give the comments. I
exactly.
will.
I will. You're my son, so I'm gonna be twice as hard on you than I am on anybody else.
So
Yeah, but I really hope, wish him good luck. I hope he does. I know he's gonna do good things. I'm
right.
excited to see what he comes up with.
Yeah, yeah. I know it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, as a
Because
matter of fact, it's one of the
he,
things I gotta do. I gotta go. I gotta mail his computer to him.
as long as you know, how was I gonna say it? Like the experience that we have of gaming, as long as we've been doing it, and he just comes along and just kicks our ass.
Yeah.
The whole new generation. He's one
Hmm.
of the latest generations. Just like it's second nature.
But
It's ingrained in their DNA. What's that?
but again, I think the difference or a big difference is, when we were coming up, we had
Yeah,
long pool games. Our
yeah.
games took days, weeks, months to finish.
Well,
The kids coming up now,
yeah. The
they're
difference. Okay, well, I think the major difference there is Google.
exactly,
In
that's yeah, exactly. I
Goo-
was going to say they're at a little bit of an advantage because all they got to do is go to Google and Google will
right?
damn near run the game for you.
Yeah.
It'll tell you
Okay.
everything you need to do step by step. And don't get me
That's
wrong, I've used Google, for help in a game. Um,
and I don't and I'm not hypocrite in this one because those power guides I use them bad boys. The
we had
magazine.
books.
The,
That's how that's how
what?
my wife started watching me play video games because I
Yeah.
had a Japanese PlayStation, Japanese video game. I couldn't read Japanese,
You
so
make her translate it.
you damn right. So she would translate the
That's
game
funny.
as she got into the game. She got into the story,
Yeah.
you know. But then I got stuck and she couldn't help me. So we went and we bought a Japanese, what was it, Brady? It was the Brady
Brady
guides?
games. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Brady
Brady
games.
guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she would sit next to me and she would read the guide in Japanese and tell me what I needed to do, and that's how we formed our connection in video games.
Oh. So yeah, I mean, we had our version, but it's a little easier now, and everything's getting data mined.
Hmm.
And before the game even comes out, they're like, "Oh yeah, well here's all the resources, here's
Yep.
all the models, here's all the." So I mean,
You can damn near
there's not
you
a lot
can
of
damn near beat the
there-
game before you even play the game, just because of the
right.
information that's already out there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of surprises these days.
Hmm.
If you're looking for it, if you're looking for that information,
Yes.
that's the difference. It's how you play the game. So I still I'm not trying to jump on my high horse. I'm just telling you, I still try to avoid looking things up until I'm like super stuck. I'm for
Yep.
real stuck.
Yeah. I gotta be ready to
But
flip my desk over. I gotta be ready for me to look something up. I gotta be ready to flip my desk over.
it always comes down to throwing shit with you.
Man, don't don't judge.
Uh, but
All
so
right.
yeah, um, that's funny.
So we are about to wrap up our first controllers and coffee. Uh, I think it went pretty good. I absolutely enjoyed our conversations. Me and Bane again have
Yeah,
been friends for years, so we always have a
yeah.
good time whenever we hang out and talk.
It's
Um,
you know what, man. The hardest thing has been since we started the stream. The hardest thing is like when we get a good conversation going
how to
when
stop
we're
it?
not on the stream, and I'm like, dude, let's save it for the stream.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but anyway, but yeah, because we just constantly have these conversations get started, and we need to record them. We need to put them out there because um, man, we wasted it long enough.
Yeah, 20 something years.
But, yeah, so
But we are gonna wrap this one up. Call it a day.
yeah,
I got things I gotta do. Bane's got things he's gotta do. We absolutely appreciate anybody who watches and keeps up with us. We're trying to build a community here, Nikaiju.
yeah.
Because again, we
And we, sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, and when we have these, feel free to join in,
Dear God, please.
whether in the Twitch chat or get the Discord info. Come join us on Discord.
Yeah,
And if you got a
absolutely.
mic, just join in the conversation.
Yep.
Absolutely. It's open. That's what we're trying to do. Why we're doing this is we're trying to build a gaming community
Build a
of good folks.
conversation. Build a
Right.
conversation in a gaming community. The one thing
Yeah.
Bane and I both focus on is we care about our followers. We want
Yeah.
we
People come first.
Yeah,
People
absolutely,
come always.
100%. We were both. That's our style of leadership from back when we were both, in the military. People come
Yeah.
first because the people are what's going to make you the money. The people are what's going to make you be successful. So
Right.
Bane will do everything in his power to take care of the people, which
Yeah. And
is our
it's not
followers.
my model that I try to follow always is it's not the game that we're playing, it's who we're playing with.
Right.
And that's something that I've told Braz I don't know how many times over the years. It's like, dude, I don't care what we play.
Yep.
Let's just have fun together.
Yep.
And
We have both
it's a
we have both
so we're
played
extreme that.
games. We have both played games that we haven't wanted to play.
Yeah. And
just just to be
we
able
started games that we're working on each other with. We were like, uh,
just to be able to hang out with
yeah,
hang out with each other and run as a game as partners.
yeah.
Talking about V
It's not.
Rising, I immediately when I got V Rising, immediately sitting over to Bane. You got to check this out. You got to try it because as much as I love the game, as soon as Bane says, "Nope, I'm not going to play that. I'm going to go play Final Fantasy 14." Guess what I'm playing? Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
You know,
Or I'll be
because
there later.
right,
Yeah.
because that's what it's about for us. It's about
Yeah.
who we play the game
Always.
with.
Always. It's who you play. It's not the game. It's who you play it with.
Yep.
So,
So if anybody does
yeah.
watch, and you want to join us on Final Fantasy 14, or you want to join us on V Rising, if you're into V Rising, just shoot us a message on Twitch or get the Discord info and hit us up on Discord.
Yeah.
and we'll gladly run with you guys.
Absolutely.
All right,
Love it.
Bane, you got any last words?
No, just stay safe out there. Just stay safe. Too much craziness.
Yep.
Please,
Stay safe.
please stay safe.
Stay safe
Yep.
and keep enjoying life and having fun, because you only got one.
Uh-huh.
All right. So we're
As
gonna end the
usual.
stream. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you
All
guys
right.
later.
See you guys.